A lot of multinationals are leaving Nigeria. And the reason why a lot of them are leaving, they say that they don't have access to sufficient forex for them to be able to import their raw materials. And most of them say that they have not been able to settle their foreign denominated trade payables, while some of them say that they have not been able to repatriate dividends to their parent entities. But their reasons mostly is around forex, and some of them will say the operating environment in Nigeria is very harsh. While this is correct, it's much more than that. GSK recently announced that they are exiting Nigeria as well. When we had this news, it's sad because we see GSK as the foremost manufacturing entity in Nigeria that manufacture, distribute, and market pharmaceutical products as well as consumer health products. That's the presumption. So we estimated that a lot of people will now be jobless in Nigeria because if they exit, a lot of their employees will have to go. However, looking at how GSK started in Nigeria in 1972. That makes this year 51 years since they have been in Nigeria. And when they started with a lot of visions, and they had a lot of things they had in plan for Nigeria, which they did up until 2016. In 2016, we found out that they divested 65% of their manufacturing facility to another entity. At that point, they said they don't want to continue to manufacture some of the products in their consumer health brands like Locozade and Ribena. They divested that. And their manufacturing facility in Agbara was substantially divested to that entity. And when we look further, we saw that in 2015, prior a year before that divestment, the total number of employees they had was 419 employees. And 260 of those worked in their production department. This fell drastically in 2016, where their total employee is now 180. That means well over 70% of their employees left the entity. And in their production department, fell from 260 in 2015 to 69. That is a drastic shed off of their workforce. In fact, we can easily conclude that they had plans of exiting from 2016. Because why would you shed a lot of workforce? Talking about the impact on Nigeria, I don't see so much impact on Nigeria because as it is from 2022, they don't manufacture anything in Nigeria. And they have been reducing their workforce from 2015. They have from 416 down to 51. So the impact on the country is going to be minimal because really the model they said they want to operate now, they said they want to operate a distribution model. That is the model they have been operating already. That's what they are. It's even better. It's good for Nigeria in the sense that now with their exits, they won't have just one distributor. Even if they have one distributor, there will be sub distributors. So, and they might not even have one, they might have many, and those ones will employ a lot of people. And there will be competition in the market, which is good for our industry. But looking at it further, you will see that in 2016, when they stopped manufacturing or when they divested some of their manufacturing facility to another entity, that was the era where there was a wide gap between the official market. At that time, it was 197 naira, and the black market at that time was around 370. So there was a difference of almost 200 naira. And a lot of these entities had access to the official market. Government was selling them dollar. So a lot of them were over invoicing. A lot of them were benefiting from this imperfection in the Nigerian system. But with this unification, that has been completely eliminated. That does not exist anymore. So we might be seeing a lot of entities living in Nigeria. Those are the ones that are not really operating at the scale they should. Those were the ones, and these are going to be the ones that have been enjoying from the imperfection in the Nigerian system. Okay, so while this is not so bad for us, I mean, the government has to find a way to encourage multinationals to manufacture in Nigeria so that there won't be compensation for them to find for them to be looking for loopholes in our system. We are blessed with abundant raw material. There's hardly anything you want to produce anywhere in the world that we don't have the equivalent raw materials in Nigeria. So why are they still importing raw materials to manufacture in Nigeria? Why is anybody coming here as a distributor when you can manufacture in Nigeria? And we all know that the operating environment in our country is extremely harsh. The government needs to find a way to work around that. They need to boost power supply. As it is now, energy cost is extremely expensive. That has to be worked on. And we need to find a way to incentivize manufacturing entity to use our raw materials. We need to find a way for it to be cheap, except for coal that is sold in the international market. Even as it is now, we export that. We export and we now import refined petrol. We need to work around manufacturing in Nigeria. We need to do that. And the only way that can happen is for us to improve the state of our infrastructure. That is when a lot of entities will be encouraged to come into the country. So I just said I should mention one or two words around that. Thank you very much.